So it's a slow news day for me, guys. There's not a lot of blockbuster movies coming out that I can review. So today I'm giving you my top picks for Netflix. I've had this streaming service for almost 10 years now, and I've watched thousands of movies and TV shows. So I'm going to give you guys some today, and hopefully you guys like them and you check them out. So let's go ahead and start with the list. By the way, this is in no particular order. They're just some of my top picks. I'll probably have more of these later to come, okay? All right, let's go. So the first pick I have is the IT Crowd. Now, the IT Crowd is about a couple of IT guys that work for a major corporation in the UK, and the show basically follows their antics, and it's so funny. It's such a funny show. Generally, I don't like shows that have laugh tracks. I don't like shows in this format, this primetime format, but this just I was 3 episodes in before I fell in love with it, and it became one of my top favorite shows of all time. Now, this show has a ton of funny side characters. It has such rich and just colorful main characters, and the scenarios they get themselves into are just antics. You could start this show at any point in the series and just laugh along with them and just get to know them, and it's so amazing. I wish there was more of it. The Americans tried to remake this show and they failed miserably. My only gripe with this show was that it was too short. It's like 5 seasons and it just ends so abruptly. I'm hoping one day there's a reunion and Roy and Moss come back and we just see more of that stuff. I hope they have the same writers, and yeah, I want to see more of this show. You guys should check it out. It's on Netflix. Well, here in Netflix Canada anyway, but I definitely recommend it. The next series I want to talk about is an anime called Death Note. So Death Note is about a kid named Light who finds a book from a demigod in which he can write any person's name and they will somehow die in any way that he chooses. Now, I don't usually watch anime, but somehow I got attached to this, and it was so fascinating. And just when you think they've hit all the twists they can in this show, they just keep going. And whatever precedent they set prior to this, they just break through that, and you find that it's just rich in imagination, and it's so well plotted, it's so well written, and I think it ends at the perfect time. It doesn't go on too long. It's only 2 seasons, but there are a ton of episodes, and every episode keeps on building tension, and it's such a fascinating thing. I think that if it were ever to be remade, it would not translate over as well. You need to watch it in Japanese or whatever language it is in on Netflix, and just see the writing in subtitles. The animation's terrific, the voice acting's terrific, the storyline is what really gets me. This show is almost a perfect 10 for me. It's so good. The next show I have is a show called Kingdom on Netflix. This show's about a zombie outbreak in, I guess you could say, feudal era Korea. And I know the market's oversaturated right now with zombie stuff, and it's really gotten a bit tiresome. But this is such a unique concept, and it's executed so well because the show has just impeccable production design, great acting, and a terrific story, and something you don't see in a context like this. Now, what I love about this show is that it every episode does get better and better, and it introduces you to this world and its characters. But what I really love is that each season, there are only 2 out right now, each season ends on a huge plot point, and it's somewhat shocking and very enthralling. So it's something I'm definitely looking forward to coming back to. I really hope there's a season 3. They haven't announced anything yet, but I want to see more of this show. I personally think it's better than The Walking Dead. That's just my opinion. And I urge you guys to check it out highly. My next Netflix pick is The Office. Now, a lot of people told me to watch this show and I ignored them for years and years. Finally, a couple years back, I ran out of stuff to watch and I gave this a shot, and it's in my top 10 of all time. I've watched this series twice now, and it's basically about a paper company named Dunder Mifflin, and you follow their exploits every day. You get to know the characters, and as the seasons go on, they grow on you. The first season, Michael Scott is just mildly annoying until he gets super annoying in a very charming way, and then you start to fall in love with all the characters. You start to fall in love with the relationships, with the humor, until it reaches this emotional crescendo in season 9. And it hit the right notes, and I think there were some weak spots towards the end of the series, but all in all, the series as a whole is so terrific, and I can't believe I put it off for this long. I plan on a third, probably a fourth rewatch at some point. But if you haven't seen The Office or you want to rewatch it, get back into it. It's so good. I have nothing more to say. It's just such a great show. The next pick I have is Broadchurch. Broadchurch, I'm not going to talk too much about because I want you guys to go in blind. Basically, it's a murder mystery set in the UK. First of all, this show has terrific photography. The composition, every picture, every shot is like a painting. And sometimes I feel like it's overproduced for a murder mystery. The show has a lot of twists, and you think you know where it's going until the final episode of the first season, where a revelation happens and then it just blows you away. And the second season keeps up that pace. It keeps up that level of tension. It keeps up those surprises. I haven't seen the third season yet, but I can safely recommend this. At least enjoy the first two. I really hope the third is good and I can recommend that in the future. But that's all I'm going to say about Broadchurch. It's so good. It's so interesting to watch. It's very captivating. And I hope you guys check it out. And I hope you guys like it as much as I did. The last pick I want to recommend on Netflix is Black Mirror. If you haven't seen Black Mirror, it's an anthology horror series, which is my favorite type of horror to watch. Every episode's a different story, so you can jump in anywhere. Any of the 4 or 5 seasons they have, just jump in at any point, watch any episode. They're all different, and each one brings its own style to the table. They're not all good. Some of them are terrific, some of them are not that great, but it's honestly some of the strongest horror, sci-fi, thriller, and mystery plots I've ever seen in a TV show. There are some big names that appear in this series, and there are some very thought provoking episodes. They definitely touch on a lot of elements and ideas, and I think they should really continue this show. They did a little spin off called Bandersnatch. It wasn't that great. It was sort of interactive, so it's like a choose your own adventure thing on Netflix. I didn't like it that much. But Black Mirror as a series is terrific. I highly recommend it. Even if you don't like horror, there are episodes that, just get into the mystery, sci-fi, and fantasy elements, and those are terrific. I'd recommend those. So that's it for my Netflix picks, guys. I have more movie reviews coming up soon. I have a lot of other videos planned out, and I hope you guys check it out. I'm going to do more of these videos. I also have some Disney Plus, Prime Video, and Crave/slash HBO picks I'm going to talk about in separate videos over the coming months, so look out for those. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have seen or plan on seeing any of these, let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time. I'm out. Cheers.